All right, I had a thought. Okay, go ahead, get your jokes off. Yeah, oh, you had a thought. Wow, first time in your life. Is it a good one? Get your jokes off. But it kind of hit me as I was deciding if I had any spare, quote unquote, because my mama listens to the show now, F's to give about the East Wing being tore down. I'm like, we not finna have food stamps. The snap is ending. What the ICE is still in our streets. And the funny thing about ICE is like, the they lowering the standard while Pet Ave Hexef trying to raise the standards of the military. They was like, look, man, can you run a mile and a half and can you do 32 push-ups? And they can't. I am proud to say I can do 32 sit-ups. 32 sit-ups and I think 25 push-ups, something bare minimum. Even if you were 1 day a week at the gym, but even if you not, obviously, you also not trying to raid somebody's house and take they meemaw to the brink. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, I forget what I was saying. Oh yeah, that there are things that I care much more about. And I'm like, do I have any spare? Is there any space in the things that I'm carrying to really care that Trump is tearing down the East Wing to build a ballroom? Because I'm like, I mean, he gaudy. Like, that's what he trying to make it Mar-a-Lago. Like, it's so obvious that's what he trying to do. Whether it's legal or not, I feel like that ship has sailed. He has taught us. He has trained us to not even ask that question whether it's legal or not. Because most of the time, nigga, no, it's not. Or it's just the law of first move. Like, I haven't even got to the point of this episode yet, or even the thought, because I'm getting to the thought process of how I got the thought. So one of the things you learn, me being, buck 45 soaking wet as a kid, just a big old string bean with just not a heavyweight. The thing is, you just need, especially when you're dealing with bullies, like, you just need to move first so that there's a chance that you catch them off guard. Like, I don't believe, my dad was never about, like, never started, don't let him, if he throw the first punch, like, you don't ever throw the first punch. If he throw the first punch, you defend yourself. That's it. My dad was thin like me. He was like, somebody throw that first punch, that might be it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be lights out. You don't let nobody hit you first. What's wrong with you? So, to that point, obviously, like, another one the old folks used to say is a good run beats a bad stand any day. But, like, shout out Pastor Dalen McCampbell. That's where I got that from. But he say, but what I'm saying is, like, if you square up first, you take off first, even if it's a matter of just the threat of the fact that, like, I'm gonna have to make you respond. And oftentimes, you heard the phrase, like, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Is like, y'all gonna have to catch up. You feel me? And that's kind of how Trump moves. He's like, you got to keep up with him. Like, if you're not keeping up with him, you got to get on and get out. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so he moves first. And when you move first, it's a type of confidence that keeps the other person on foot. And now you're the Poindexter pointing your, I don't think he can do that. Can he do that? That's not how he work. He just do it. And it's like, I mean, I dare you to try to stop me. So what I'm saying is, it's the law of first move. It's when you do that, a lot of times, that's why we say how we drive in LA. It's like, you have to drive offensively. Like, no, I'm making the move. Like, confident, this is what I'm doing. Y'all will get out the way. So that's how he work. He just like, yeah, I'm gonna tear it down. It's like, nigga, can you do that? I mean, what you gonna say now? It's already down. Like, well, I mean, what did you pull permits? I mean, I don't know. Nobody like pulling permits, but the point I'm trying to make is, he done already done it. He said he gonna do it and he doing it. My question is, do I care? Care enough to do a whole episode about it? And here's the thought. I feel like this might be the blue or gold dress of the president's moves. Hood politics, y'all. Okay, this seems like simultaneously last week and last century. That moment in the height of the innocence of Twitter. I feel like it's before the internet died. I mean, you had listicles on BuzzFeed. People were sharing "I'm old Greg" videos. Just this innocent time where the hottest discussion on our social media was, what color is this dress? And it's truly just a trick of light. You know what I'm saying? It just depended on which angle you took the picture. It made the color. It's a really normal thing that happens with optics and light. But it broke the internet as to like people writing blogs. Y'all remember? Oh man. Y'all remember blogs? God, dog. Anyways, well, look at me strangely reminiscing about the mid-aughts internet. Anyway, that moment was very much, you saw what you believed you saw. And you are going to interpret what you saw based on what you already believed. I wrote, speaking of blogs, this article for Preemptive Love Coalition. I don't think it's up now, but it was I believe it was the first pre-Trump, or it was the first Trump era. There was a like pro-life like rally on the steps of the Capitol, and this little boy was photoed staring down this like elder indigenous person that was like singing and playing drums, and the little boy had this little smirk on his face that when you look at the still, it invoked for me to the point, it invoked for me this ambiguity that when left unchecked, it turns into the Young Republicans group chat. What I mean by it is this. The smirk is, I'm only calling it a smirk because that's what I saw in that. He might have just been smiling. He wasn't saying anything. He was standing there while this native man was playing his music. It's a very, very visceral image. And I remember writing like, you saw what you already believed, and this image affirmed it. So that little boy was taken on to some Fox News about him being a hero, and this grown man was staring down this child. He's a child, you know, and he wasn't saying anything. He wasn't bothering you. He wasn't touching you. But how are you the one that feels that you were being accosted by him? So they talked about how this little boy was a hero, and just like, man, you didn't back down when that old man was looking at you. That's because you already believed that, because we wasn't there. You just looking at this image. The other side of that was what I saw, which was, I know that smirk. That smirk reminds me of them little punk ass racist kids that when we moved to the Inland Empire, these little white boys I had to deal with, because yes, technically he's not touching me. They could always go back and to say, but what did I do? It was just a joke. Come on, we're just kids. It was just a joke. Why did you feel intimidated? Maybe you're the racist one. right? So we as people of color, what is being said to us without being said is to tone down, turn it down, don't express yourself. Because when you express yourself, it's something that either A, I can laugh at, or B, can shame you without using words. You like I feel like every woman knows that, every cisgendered woman or heterosexual woman, or yeah, even not even heterosexual, any just girl who had to deal with cisgendered hetero males know that smirk. They know that I didn't say anything. Come on, girl, why you mad? You know that look. Its power is in its ambiguity. You feel me? And I mean, I don't even have to explain. I mean, I feel like I don't have to explain that because, again, ladies, you've just existed in public. Some dude has said a word to you like this. Some dude has gave you that smirk. The smirk that you like. Sometimes I should just slap the shit out of you just so you don't look at nobody else like that again. So the point I'm trying to make is, like, I know in my life, if that would have happened, that smirk that I'm talking about that I remember vividly, I can even remember the boy's name, the couple of the boys' names that used to do that. And like, a part of me was being afraid of being suspended, getting in trouble, getting jumped. I was new to the city. I don't really live here. It was like, my sister is so many years apart from me. She was already in high school at the time, but the part of the Inland Empire that she went to high school with was actually had a very robust Black community. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go there. I was still kind of back and forth between the area we're from that I talk about all the time, and then this like middle school space that we were possibly moving to. Now, we had moved there by then, but I still had a lot of my social network. And anyway, it's not the point. The point is, I had all these things I would consider. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would be the one to get suspended. I would be the one that, like, I'd have to, watch myself every day. This was a different type of thing. It's not street in the sense that, I mean, we understand that, like, they bust, we bust. If you scrap like that, like, there's a little bit of respect that comes with being able to, like, I'll break your face with a lunch tray. Like, there's a space for that is sort of understood. There was a race power dynamic that I was very inexperienced in. I had never been in a situation like this where I was like, I mean, this is like Doc Martin, skinhead, white shirt, suspenders, like, era. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, I feel like I'm on another planet right now. So I know this smirk. All of that, I did that whole side quest to explain that I brought all that to that image. So when I looked at that image, I was seeing decades of these little quasi-cute, overly protected, privileged little white boys that get away with stuff that I could never get away with. And the fact that, like, he didn't feel any sort of way to see an elder and give that elder the type of respect that seems so intuitive to me. But millions of people didn't see that. Millions of people just saw, he's a little boy. He has a little smile on his face. He's not frowning at you. He's not saying anything. He's just standing there. Yeah. Blue dress? Was it a blue dress? Or is it a gold dress? What you think about this East Wing? Let me make a case for both. Next. All right, we're back. So the facts as they stand can kind of go like this. Trump said, you know, I wanted to, and he's wanted to for years, build a ballroom at the White House. And he also wants to do some sort of triumphant march because I mean, okay, let me stick with the facts because I'm about to tell you what I see with this. You could obviously, you know what I see there. But so he wants to build this triumphant arch. He wants to do this ballroom in the East Wing. Now, out of his mouth, he said he's not going to tear down any of the existing White House thing. So apparently off camera, offline, we didn't see none of this happen. They went through, crunched the numbers, and it was like, look, it would be way more expensive to leave this thing here and try to figure out an addition, right? It would be much more cost efficient to just tear the thing down and build something new. Now, the East Wing only goes back to like 1900, like an earlier thing. It was an addition to the White House that we all know of. We all know of the West Wing. Ain't no movies about the East Wing. I've been to the East Wing, which you could still say you've been to the White House. You know what I'm saying? I had a meeting there with my homie Derek Miner about finding financial support for Black small businesses. This is a really dope program. Like I say in the lyrics, I ain't never been no online contest. I ain't never won no online contest, but I spoke at the Congress. Okay, so it was with the Better Business Bureau and the SBA, yeah, Small Business Association. Anyway, meeting with them. Anyway, so over on that side, there's like a place for like if you're gonna have dinners, the stenographer's there. There's a couple offices. Usually the first lady had her office over there. And we met in this just fancy meeting room, right? There's just a bunch of offices, you know. Really the White House in some ways is because you don't get to see the part they live in. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's still just a government building. Now, I want to get into the conceptual stuff. I'm just stick to the facts prop. So there's really not much going on there, but it was an addition that at this point is over 100 years old, right? And y'all remember, keep in mind, like the White House it burnt down once, you know, it was rebuilt. It was the last big renovation was during the Truman, which is like one of the funnier ones. Like Truman was in the tub and he felt the floor kind of getting shaky while that was happening. His wife was downstairs entertaining guests. They said the chandelier was rocking. There was a time where somebody put their foot through the floor and it poked through the roof like the mug was falling apart. So he's talking about he was in the bath and he was like, man, I would have really ruined her party if he'd have fell down through the bath. So in that scenario, obviously, like, okay, man, you got to fix the White House. Like, I understand, you know, but like I said, but the East Wing was added later. So obviously, it is just a structure and it needs renovation sometimes. It needs additions. It needs fixings. You know what I'm saying? And every president is in some way, you know, taking on parts of this. Now, what Trump did for this one was, like I said, it is you gold dress or blue dress. It seems to be a legacy project, like a pet project. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, since there's no real, there's no damage to the building. The building's fine. He just wants to make it better. He tapped his this lady O'Rourke, who was their Trump 2024 like fundraiser leader, right? To get people in here to hold a dinner to raise money to build this thing, you know, so he could tap his daughter, you know, Ivanka and Krishna and just all these different people to be like, yo, come help me pay for this. You know, it's gonna be dope, right? And he raised the money through that to get this thing done. And since it's, again, I'm just trying to stick to the facts. Since it's not the rules around historic preservation buildings don't really apply to the White House. I know how crazy that sounds, but they just don't. And what the permits you pull are technically about construction, not destruction. It's silly. to say something like that, but well, actually, you know what I'm saying? It's just something that, like, again, sticking to the facts, just looks illegal. Like, it just looks like you shouldn't just be able to tear down the White House. Because again, factually, that's not your house. You don't really live here. You don't really live here. Unless, of course, like I said, he's planning to die there. That man is not leaving. Anyway, so this is just what it is, right? He's building a ball. So my question, like I said, was like, I kind of don't care, right? I'm like, there are so many other things that I should be worried about, which made me go, oh, maybe I do care, because I probably had the same visceral sort of like pearl clutching, not even in a pejorative way, but just like for real, like this like pearl clutching response to seeing the image of the bulldozers at the White House. I thought it was AI. I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, there's no way that this is, let me wait a second. Let me practice some media literacy and just be like, oh my God, look at this. And you also don't want to be, now this is me keeping it cool. Like I'm stepping in here. Like, I personally don't want to just, like, oh, did you see what he did? Because it's, if you just always that, you feel me, you gonna exhaust yourself. And like I said, the man trained us. Like, this isn't a Trump stand. Like, this is not my show. Like, it's about all of the stuff. So I can't just be like that about everything. So honestly, I wasn't gonna cover it, or I was just gonna talk about it in the tap in, because I was just like, man, whatever, bro. I don't really think I truly care. But then that made me say, well, that is actually a position, because of the things that I do care about. I do care about the fact that, like, air traffic controllers aren't being paid. Like, the planes is finna stop flying. You asking people to go to work for free. Meanwhile, we about to lose our healthcare. You don't see the optics in this? So then I was like, okay, I see the two different views here, and I think this is interesting. Let's talk about one side. So on one hand, it's exactly what I'm saying. You've put the military, the National Guard, in American cities. You looked at the military and said, I want you to practice your expertise in insurgencies and fighting insurgencies in America. Like, that's what I want you to do. You're hiring dudes that can't do 15 push-ups to go attack somebody's grandma on her way home from going to her immigration meeting. So you finding people that are trying to actually do the right thing and still doing this to them. Stopping somebody and punishing them, locking them up because they didn't have their papers. Like, show me your papers, boy. You're like this. There is chaos in our streets. BB played you like a fiddle, cuz like, you really thought you made peace in the Middle East, my nigga. Like, you dumb as a bag of rocks. But you just want to act like gold member and just spray gold over the shit? There's so, what are you doing? Your own base, the farmers that you duped into listening to you about to end their subsidies. They farms are dying. Which, as a side note, y'all remember the Black Ag episode when we talked about how the FDA and the body that distributes funds and aids to the agricultural community of the country, how they weren't giving loans to black ones. Remember we talked about that? And that he was suing them. So it's funny how now who got their hands out? You done already told black folks no. Indigenous folks no. You done already told us we can't get the loan. So we had to figure it out ourselves. Now the people that was getting your handouts is like, where are my handouts? It's how the tables have techniqued 1200. So anyway, it's bonkers to me how metaphorical, that's what I'm saying, is like you're looking at that like this is personification. It's poetry. This is what you do. You're tearing it down. You done already aired out the damn Supreme Court. You already talking about birthright citizenship. My God. This is what you're doing to America. Like, you're looking at this picture, you're like, yeah, that's what he did. You feel me? Like, you're like, you're literally tearing down our institutions, right? And how you did it was payola. You had funders come do this? Who are them funders? Are them funders are people that are going to be able to get favors from you? Because they pay for your little funky ass. Like, so I was like, okay, maybe there is a thought here, right? Like, are you serious, bro? Are you serious? This what we doing? And then, if you already don't like his style, like, I don't know if you've ever been to any of the golf courses, any of the hotels or the Trump thing, how it just looked like a Baroque, like, kind of Victorian, just the oddest looking, just gaudy gold member. He's already spraying gold shit at, like, just, if you already don't like the aesthetic, you like, man, you finna like, and if you was one of them people that was just thinking, again, I'm just expressing one of the views. If you was one of the people that was thinking like, yo, if we could just get through it, like, let's just get through this, just grit, like, maybe we'll be able to put the house back together again. Maybe we'll be able to just it, like, the institutions have like not crumpled completely. You know, there's midterms. Like, at some point, he's gonna have to leave the office. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we get our shit together, if we just grit our teeth and just like, you know, thug it out, like, we'll be all right. None of this shit is permanent until you look at the fact that the building's gone. And just as a metaphor of like, this nigga broke it. We will never, and the building we're gonna never get rid of that, are we? What are we gonna tear it down and build another one? Like, I don't want to get in that cycle. You have just metaphor, just physically manifested the way we feel about your presidency. Is that we're stuck with this. And nigga, this not your house. You are a renter. You got your crony boys. We already know you done already sold out to the oligarchs. Now them niggas got you in their pocket even more. Like, don't you think you playing them? Nigga, they playing you. Like, I don't understand. For somebody who swear he the king of the deal. Somebody that swear he the smoothest hustler. Somebody swear he got the silverest tongue. Nigga, they playing you. You can't tell they playing you? Right? You just like power. You just want somebody to tell you your shit don't stink. And then pay for the shit you want to pay for, that you want. You love Stephen Miller. You even making jokes about Stephen Miller, how like, we don't really want him to say what he really think. Because you know the nigga a Nazi. Like, he a white supremacist head ass. You know it. That man playing you. The Project 2025 people, they playing you. Out your mouth, you ain't no damn Christian. You know that. I'm just saying. These people gonna want their favors back. Maybe you cool with it. I'm just saying. Now we stuck with it. That might be the blue dress. Now, if you see the gold dress, next. All right. Now, you looking at this thing, you might see the total opposite. You may look at somebody that's saying like, bro, like, you about to end Snap and all of a sudden you got the money to do this. And they're like, maybe you see the gold side, you like, oh, he fundraised for that. That's not taxpayers' money. And if somebody want to do a pet project, they should pay for it. I don't see the problem. He's paying for it himself. And donors believe in him, and he did what he did. He's not touching the taxpayers' money. Matter of fact, the taxpayers' money, that's tied up because of the Democrats. I'm trying to get these people paid. You might be like, he done already commingled funds to make sure some of the military folk getting paid. Now the air traffic controllers, I can only commingle so much. Tell the Democrats to like stop, you know what I'm saying? I told them we'd talk about all the Medicare and Medicaid stuff after. I said, let's talk about it. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it. I'm just saying, like, let's get the thing done so we get paid, and then we'll figure out the other stuff later. That's all I'm trying to say. Again, I'm arguing their position. And they like, yo, he's got towers and buildings everywhere. I mean, isn't that what we wanted? We wanted a dude that knew business, that's what he do. He do real estate. Like, that's what he do. The man crunched the numbers. He said he wasn't going to tear it down. Then he looked at the numbers and was like, you know what? It's actually cheaper to tear it down. And besides, what's wrong with a renovation? Every president does it. Only difference is I'm paying for it myself. I don't understand why y'all mad at me. You should get over here and hug me. I'm not making you pay for it. Shit. And yes, like that's how donations work. People do stuff and in return they get access. What planet you live on? That's so normal. What are you talking about? I think it's great. You ever been to Versailles, my nigga? You ever been to, you go to the hall, you Buckingham Palace, cuz like you ever go to like them things is beautiful, homie. Like we out here slumming it. What's wrong with us like doing that? And then also, again, putting on the view. Also, if you see the gold dress, you might look at that and say that destruction of that building is beautiful. I wrote a whole poetry book and a set of albums called Terraform, Building a Livable World. And sometimes every time to build, you have to have a controlled demolition. You got to tear it down. They may see that as a beautiful metaphor of the destruction of an era far gone, a moment that we need to let go of. We need to stop being so precious about these institutions that have not served us all. I think this is a metaphor. I'm saying if you see the gold side, you damn right that's a metaphor of Trump. And his legacy will stay with us forever. Because what did he do? He tore down a system that wasn't working. And now he's about to build a beautiful one. And we will have him to thank forever. That's one way to look at it. Right? And yeah, like, why would we not want to be in good graces with the wealthiest humans on earth? That's just logical. Like, why would I not want to be good with them? They got all the money. And hey, once again, they're kind of paying for it. So this is what he did. He tapped his own resources. He tapped his own network, and he's doing what he do best. He's not even touching the American money for that. That's not even their funds. And you're going to love it. Like, you get to keep it. Like, it's not like I get to take it home with me. Like, you get to keep it. It'd be different if I was building a building for my own house. Y'all get to, like, you're welcome. Everybody go take pictures at the Arch in New York City. Y'all don't want one in D.C.? I don't understand the problem. You've been at a Washington Monument? It's just it's an obelisk. It's just a Egyptian stick of like, what the... I feel like I'm trying to help y'all. That's if you see the gold dress. But I think the point I'm trying to make is, ultimately, this is a metaphor of where our politics are. We kind of already see what we already believe to be true when we're looking at these things. So the leading question for me is, do I actually care at all about the East Wing being destroyed? And in turn, should you care? I actually don't have an answer for you. What I care about is what this says about us. What I care about is, does any of our protests even matter if we not gonna do a collective strike or a general strike? If we win, if the Congress gets a little more evened out, are we really gonna pass laws that are gonna liberate our people? What is going to break this death grip that capitalism has on our, like, just this choking out, this type of capitalism that is just, listen, guys, I obviously sell things. That is called commerce, okay? Duh. But this institution that is just funneling every possible cent up to the top in a way that has got us squawking like doggone baby swallows, just waiting for these rich folk to chew a worm and spit it out into our mouths. Like, yo, what is we doing? I am not at any point gonna go on a recreational tour through the East Wing. I'm still keeping in the back of my head that slaves built the White House. So, like, what do I care? I mean, I'm all out of pearl clutches with Trump himself. That's not, I don't know. But I tell you what I do know. I'm in Cali, got to vote on Prop 50. If we gonna gerrymander, tactically gerrymander, when somebody, what I'm saying, walk into the lunchroom and just giggle over your tray, just trying to decide which snack it's finna take, reach in slowly, grabs your little carton of pudding. They used to give us cartons of pudding, and just looks at you like, you ain't gonna do shit because you're a good boy. You don't want to get in trouble. You have a code. So ain't gonna do nothing. I'll be back for your carrots and chocolate milk. Like I said, that little boy was just standing there smiling. But the areas that I come from, sometimes you got to wipe a smile off of somebody's face. Not because they did anything, but just so that everybody watching knows. Don't ever look at me like that. They need to know you're not playing. Because if they can fall back and keep saying, I'm just kidding, it's no big deal. Why are you looking at it like that? Then they get to start sharing Hitler memes and calling basketball monkey ball. Watermelon eaters, you know what I'm saying? And did you know there was a slur called moon crickets? And that's because Black people would sing their Negro spirituals at night as we were escaping, or when we had our church services, we would sing. It would all be at night. It was our only time to be together. So that's when we started. They called us moon crickets. Just creative, but it might be trivial. It might not be trivial. Maybe there are some things you should let slide. Maybe there's some things you shouldn't let slide. I just don't know if I have a spare F to give. Which, starting to think, is by design. All right, now don't you hit stop on this pod. You better listen to these credits. I need you to finish this thing so I can get the download numbers, okay? So don't stop it yet. But listen, this was recorded in East Los Boyle Heights by your boy Propaganda. Tap in with me at prophiphop.com. If you're into cold brew coffee, we got Terraform Cold Brew. You can go there.com and use promo code HOOD, get 20% off, get yourself some coffee. This was mixed, edited, and mastered by your boy Matt Osowski, killing the beat softly. Check out his website, mattossowski.com. I'm gonna spell it for you because I know. MattoSowski.com, mattossowski.com. He got more music and stuff like that on there, so go and check out the heat. Hood Politics is a member of Cool Zone Media, executive produced by Sophie Lichterman, part of the iHeartMedia Podcast Network. Your theme music and scoring is also by the one and only Matt Osowski, still killing the beat softly. So listen, don't let nobody lie to you. If you understand urban living, you understand politics. These people is not smarter than you. We'll see y'all next week.